In a bombshell interview with Charlie Kirk, former U.S. National Security Advisor and head of American military intelligence, General Michael Flynn, declared that Ukraine has already lost the war.
The war itself is a lost war. Ukraine has lost this war. They have lost terrain. They have lost significant prestige, and they are now a nation exhausted by endless fighting.
Flynn didn't mince words, telling Kirk that Ukraine has lost territory, lost prestige, and is now drafting 60-year-old men to fight on the battlefield.
The people of Ukraine are worn out. We are now tapping into 60-year-olds to fight in the military for the Ukrainian army. That shows how desperate the situation really is.
The retired three-star general slammed the Biden administration for throwing fuel on the fire, claiming Washington's billions in funding have only prolonged Ukraine's agony.
The Biden administration really threw fuel on the fire of this Ukrainian war by funding it to the tune of hundreds of billions. Congress says 170 billion, but the real number may be closer to 500 billion.
"You have lost," was Flynn's blunt message to Zelensky, warning that the Ukrainian president is being chaperoned and handled by European leaders who push NATO expansion at any cost.
Zelensky's handlers are now trying to convince Trump that we must defeat Russia and force Ukraine into NATO. That would be like the Cuban Missile Crisis, a red line that risks nuclear war.
Flynn drew shocking parallels, comparing NATO's push into Ukraine to the Cuban Missile Crisis, saying America once almost went nuclear over weapons in Cuba. So why is Russia's red line being ignored?
In 1994, there was an agreement of no further NATO expansion. Since then, more than 25 countries have joined, pressing up against Russia's frontier. We almost went to nuclear war over Cuba. Why ignore Russia's red lines now?
Offering what he called a path to real peace, Flynn suggested eastern Ukraine is gone for good, and even Crimea could be turned into a Hong Kong-style trade zone under Russian control.
Those eastern provinces voted in 2022 to align with Russia because the majority are Russian speakers anyway. Crimea could become a negotiated trade zone, like Hong Kong once was with China, giving both sides some stability.
And at the heart of Flynn's message, only Donald Trump can end this war. The general praised Trump's recent talks with Vladimir Putin in Alaska and Zelensky in Washington, framing him as the sole leader who can deliver peace where Biden has failed.
When Trump came in, he froze the conflict and kept it at a status quo. Trump is the only one who can strike a real long-term peace agreement that lasts.
General Michael Flynn's words land like a thunderclap. Ukraine has lost, Russia holds the cards, and only Donald Trump, in Flynn's view, can stop the march toward a wider war.